I would like to welcome you to our Saturday night Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center, Inspirational Talk and Prayer. I'm Reverend Margaret Palagye, founder and spiritual director of Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center in Westmont, New Jersey, and I'm so happy that you joined us this evening. We got to touch base with spirituality, and that's what we hope to accomplish by these videos. This is our Saturday night spiritual service on Facebook Live and on YouTube. And all of our other events that we do during the week are on Zoom. And all the information that you would need is on the front page of joyfulgathering.org. That's our website. We have all the information and links right there for you. Because on Wednesday night, we have, it's just been so beautiful. We have this meditation, 15-minute meditation, and then we have a prayer, and it's a group prayer. So our practitioners and ministers, of which we have 10 new ministers, we're so excited. Most of them are on that call, so they do prayer with us. So we all get it, and it's open to everyone. So check out our website. You can also make your donations on our website. There's a PayPal button, or if you have Venmo, you can put the donations in Venmo, or you can mail a check to the address on the front page. All right, so we're going to begin as we usually do with that deep breath. And we're going to breathe in light and exhale light. Let's breathe in peace and exhale peace. Yes. Just bringing us to center where we are receptive to hear the words spoken. And I want to start the talk off from this thing called You by Dr. Ernest Holmes, where he writes, "The spirit within me is God. The living Spirit Almighty is within me now. Spirit is the sustaining principle of my life. I open my mind to its influx. I open my consciousness to its inflowing nature, and I open my heart to its love." And let's just remember that, because the title of our talk is Diving into Mysticism. And I want us to really get a sense of what that means and how we're all mystics in this modern world. So right now I want you to open your mind even wider than before to this influx, to your consciousness is expanding and overflowing, and your heart is filling with love as we move into a place of this deep spiritual knowing and spiritual connection, because we are connected spiritually. Every one of us has within us this calling, this longing, a deep longing, a soul's yearning to connect with, to commune with, and be in conscious union with a power greater than ourselves, which we call God. It is a longing to be home and to feel at home with what is. And I'm so reminded of a time in my life where I really had a deep longing. It was the beginning of what I'm going to get into tonight, my awakening. Or in 1990, I am just praying for some kind of community, some kind of spiritual community that I could connect with. And I prayed for 2 full years, manifesting in God's time. And I wanted to understand that there is something more than just the material things in this world. There has to be something more, and I couldn't find it with the religion I was brought up in. And then I found Science of Mind, and it just resonated with me. It felt good, and most importantly for me, it felt right. And that's really important, to have something connect and resonate with you and feel right. So there is an innate yearning at the depth of our being to connect with and commune with this loving presence, this higher perspective, and this infinite goodness of something other than our own self. And we determine ourselves how we're going to answer that call. But most of us are looking for peace and plenty. We're looking for something to really fulfill us. And we can see with what's going on in this world, it can't just be materialistic things. It's got to come from within. It must be that inside job. And that's where the divine resides, omnipresent in all places and within us. And it can be easy to get distracted from our relationship with this power for good. The things of the world are calling us and pulling us in so many different directions. I know for myself, I'm missing my spiritual community. I'm really missing being with these people that I love so much. But I have to still turn within, even when that human emotion comes up of missing everyone. I miss all of you that I can't be in physical contact with. But this is what we have to do right now, and it's an opportunity to turn inward to my divine self and just go deeper within. And if we desire to experience true peace, true prosperity, if we desire a deep contentment, a satisfaction, and happiness in life, if we desire to fill the space of longing in our hearts, then we must connect with Source. We must deepen our connection with Source. It goes nowhere. It is always present. And so we must move in the way of mystics, which is where the title comes from. We are mystics on this planet when we practice the presence of God itself. And I'm going to get into that this evening. Ernest Holmes, Dr. Ernest Holmes in Science of Mind text does a beautiful job of describing a mystic. I want to read this to you. He says, a mystic is not a mysterious person, but is one who has this deep inner sense of life and of his unity with the whole. A mystic is one who intuitively perceives the truth without having to think about it, and arrives at a spiritual realization. The mystic senses the atmosphere of God. The mystic senses reveals a greater unity, a greater truth, and knows that the infinite is the divine being, this what we call God or higher power, whatever you want to call it. So if any of those, if you feel and you're connecting with any of those, you are showing up as a mystic in this modern world that we're in. And I also want to quote Goddard Neville, fantastic New Thought writer. In his book, Faith is Your Fortune, he writes this: consciously claim yourself to be that which you seek. Appropriate the consciousness of that which you see, and you too will know the status of a true mystic. And isn't that what we're doing when we say these words? The spirit within me is God. The living Spirit Almighty is within me now. Spirit is the sustaining principle in my life. I open my mind to its influx. I open my consciousness to its inflowing. I open my heart to its love. The words, Ernest Holmes was a mystic, and the words just resonate, and they are fresh and new every single time that we read them, because spiritual truth is spiritual truth. It never changes. It is immutable. Rabbi David Cooper, in his book, God is a Verb, wrote that whenever he sat down with holy men and women, whether they were Buddhist monks or Native American shamans or Catholic priests or rabbis, They shared their mystical insights and experiences, and they all said the same things. Different words, yes. Different focus for different times, yes. Different cultures, different people, yes. But they all said the same thing. Spiritual truth is spiritual truth, pure and simple. When we take it at its essence of what it is, which science of mind does, New Thought does, then we are truly connecting with a power without any rules and regulations, just being in that good flow of energy. It is that each and every one of us has something profound within us. We all do. And what we must do is awaken to it, to become present to it, to become alive to it. Because it's living within us. In roughly 500 BCE, there was a man named Siddhartha Gautama walking the earth, doing holy work. He was astounding people with his mere presence. So they asked, not who are you, but what are you? Are you an angel? They asked. No, he said. Are you God then? No, he replied. I am simply one who is awake. And he became known as the awakened one, which is what Buddha means, awakened one. And so that's for all of us, to wake up to that true spirituality, to that heaven on earth that's within us all of the time. We each have something profound within us. And all we must do, is awaken to it, become present to it, become alive to it. It really is that simple. But we try to we as humans make everything complicated. That's our nature. We overthink, we make it complicated. Ernest Holmes recognized this when he said in his textbook, we regularly try to make a riddle out of simplicity. That's what we do. Who do you think you are? You are spirit in form. You are the activity of God expressing right here, right now. Every experience in life is an opportunity. It really is. Maybe it's a different shift for you. And it's a good shift because every experience is an opportunity. And that can lead you toward fulfillment of your glorious potential. Those things money can't buy. Those things, materialistic things cannot give. That feeling of fulfillment. And mysticism recognizes that God is in all and is in the presence of seeing, sensing, feeling, and experiencing that God within and without. It is the practice of letting God guide and direct and inspire our lives. And this is called intuition. We are all, hear this, we are all natural mystics, each and every one of us. When we get out of our heads and move into our hearts, when we truly come to that place in our heart, we can be drawn to deeper levels of consciousness. The Buddha said, let your mind become clear like a still forest pond. On the surface of the pond, it is not very still. On the surface, there are all kinds of disturbances. The water is churned up by the wind, pelted by the rain, frozen by cold temperatures, thawed out by the warmer temperatures, leaves and dirt litter the surface. All the disturbances to the pond are visible on this surface level. The surface level of our minds is also where all this activity of disturbance exists. We might call this level the chatter level, At this level, we have more than 60,000 thoughts a day. Our mind never stops, never takes a rest. Our call then is to quiet our mind, to take some time every day and quiet our mind so that we can let that innate wisdom come through for us. It guides and comforts us, truly comforts us. And we must wake up, become aware that our true good is not earthly good, although that's pretty enjoyable. I like earthly good, but I know that is so changeable. So our true good then lies in the realm of spirituality. That's the real good. It is our divinity guiding us through every situation, every circumstance. When we feel stuck and helpless with all of these different circumstances, we can choose. You see, a lot of people don't know. This is what awaken when we wake up. We wake up to the truth that we have choice. We can choose to look at any situation, any circumstance in a different way. In a different way. We can choose peace no matter what has taken place in our lives. And I've used that even when complete chaos was taking place in my life. I would go back and connect with the peace. I would go back and connect with the peace. This peace is hard to describe. I'm talking about a divine peace. So rather than focus on any thought, put your inner awareness on the space that exists between the thoughts. That space. It is the field of all possibilities that reside in that space, that pause. No distractions here, no separation, only pure consciousness, pure connecting, allowing the divine to merge through us. And I want to end with a short quote also from Ernest Holmes, Dr. Ernest Holmes. All of the great mystics, he wrote, have agreed that the soul is on the pathway of experience, that is, of self-discovery, that it is on its way back to its Father's house, and that every soul will ultimately reach its heavenly home. So choose right now. Your heavenly home is not some place far off. It's right here within us. We can choose to live in heaven, or we can choose to live in hell. But remember, the gift we have, all my mystical friends, is that we have choice. And right here, right now, I'm hoping that you will choose home with me, and to keep that peace alive in your heart. And remember that you are a light of God, and we are all in this together. Namaste. So I'm going to do a prayer right here. Okay? So let's just take a deep breath together. Let's move into this space, this atmosphere, this God atmosphere, this divine atmosphere, where we are all connected in this unified field. Let us become aware of our nature of good that is within us, our nature of peace that is within us. This loving presence that is guiding us, that is comforting us, that is leading us home. And home, we know, is right here, right here. And so I go to that place of my consciousness that recognizes this infinite power for good, this loving energy that moves in and through and as all of life, for it has created all that is and all that could ever be. And this loving energy is one of complete unconditional love, no conditions in the love of the divine. And so I know that this loving energy moves in and through myself, and in and through each and every one. That each one is a creation of the divine, unique unto themselves. Everyone's personality, everyone's way of showing up on this planet is different. God does not repeat itself. So every single form of life is unique, and it is filled with good, but we must turn within and open up to that indwelling, loving presence, to that peace, to that infinite possibility that lies in the space between the thoughts. And so therefore I claim that each and every person is divinely guided. Each and every person is residing in a place called heaven within. And each and every person is fulfilling any desire that they have in their lives. We are not alone. You are not alone. We are totally guided. We are absolutely connected in this unity of life. And I wish all the goodness of love, the profound atmosphere of peace. And I give thanks for knowing that this good absolutely flows in and through and as myself, and in and through and as each and every one. We're all children of the divine, creations unique unto ourselves. And I give thanks for that. I give thanks for all the good that is yet to unfold. In spite of any circumstance, any condition, the good of God is above that. It's a realm of spirituality, the high realm. I give thanks for awakening with each one of you to this good. And knowing that this word cannot return void, I release it. I release it into the fullness and the intelligence of the law of universal mind, where this word is made manifest in my life and in each and everyone's life, right here and right now. Love and blessings to each and every one.